Back to the headline story of the day. Unions were dealt a big loss in last night's elections in Wisconsin and in San Diego and in San Jose. It'll set the tone for November, perhaps. Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn, Republican from Tennessee, live with us now from Capitol Hill. Congresswoman, thanks for joining us. I'm looking at a headline in the New York Times where they actually use the word survives. They say Governor Walker survived a bid to remove him. What do you make of that?
I think Governor Walker walloped them in Wisconsin and sent a very clear message to the unions that the day is over when they can make these outrageous demands, and they've got to bring their pensions and their programs into line with what is happening in the private sector. Look, I think Governor Walker is going to end up being one of the great governors of our time. He is going to set a model by which other states can follow to bring their spending in line and truly reform the way state governments work. And it is a lesson and a message to everybody here in Congress. Get the fiscal house in order. Okay,
I've got to move quickly, so I'm going to ask for a relatively short answer to a big question, if I may, Marsha. Look, sure. We've got this latest CBO report that says our debt at the end of this year is going to be higher than it's ever been relative to our economy since World War II. That's a really shocking number right there. I want to know what you would do. What are you going to do about spending? What would you cut, and when would you cut it?
Number one, I would do across-the-board spending cuts. I was pleased to see that Governor Romney is in favor of a 5% across-the-board cut. You've got Governor Christie and others that have followed this pattern in their states. Make across-the-board cuts. Reform the trust funds, Social Security and Medicare. Set up real trust funds with there. Get your Medicaid, the largest entitlement, under control. Those are the places where we need to start, and the easiest way to deal with that discretionary portion of spending is across-the-board cuts.
When would you impose that cut?
Immediately.
Really?
I go to the floor every year with bills to cut 1%, 2%, and 5% across the floor. I was on the floor last night with a bill to cut 1% out of the energy and water appropriations. We'll hold that vote later this afternoon.
Do you think that the economy, weak as it is, could handle an immediate across-the-board cut in government spending?
Absolutely, because we're borrowing 40 cents of every dollar that we spend. Of course our economy can handle that. And Stuart, if we don't do this, then our publicly held debt is going to be larger than the entire U.S. economy by the time we get to 2022. People can go to my website, blackburn.house.gov, and read the CBO report that you have mentioned.
Okay. We appreciate you being with us, Marsha. Sorry to cut the...
Hey, Stuart, light bulbs. We're still protecting them. Got an amendment through last night to keep back the EPA police on our light bulbs.
I didn't know. Thank you very much for reminding everybody.
Absolutely.
So we keep the incandescent bulb, do we?
Well, we're going to keep the EPA police from taking them off the shelves at Home Depot and places like that. You've got the killer bees, Barton, Burgess, and Blackburn, that are protecting your right to freedom of choice in light bulbs.
Love it. Marsha Blackburn, everybody, Republican, Tennessee. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good.